This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so the database which we talked about, it all runs on the PostgRE SQL, and to download it and to make it up and running, first step will be downloading the Tableau server tab command. Okay, so this is something which we need to be downloaded, and it will be downloaded as your exe file. And once you download it, now it will be the same process of running it, um, and just like we ran the Tableau server, and this will be installed in your computer, or the wherever you are going to install it. So it is going to create one more folder inside your Tableau server folder, like C program files, Tableau server, and there will be the version name of it. And you will see here the command line utility.
Okay.
Okay, so this will be the simple step to download and install the TSM command utility there in your system. The second step, after once you install it, you have to install the SSL packages. Okay, so you have to configure your PostgRE's SSL to allow the direct connection. Okay, so let's say, so this will, if it is not downloaded, like if it is not, the certificate is not installed, you will not be able to connect to the PostgRE SQL. Okay, and let's say it is installed in your system, and you are able to connect it, but if someone else is trying to connect with the PostgRE SQL, so you have to whitelist that if there is a VPN access to that. Otherwise, you have to install this in his computer also. Okay,
Okay.
to make him connect with the like if some developers ask that I want to connect with the PostgRE, then you have to install this SSL to that um, system. And how it is done is, so first you have to go ahead and type command prompt, and then run it with the run as an administrator.
Okay.
Okay, once you do that, you have to run this command tsm security repository ssl enable. So this will enable you your security, and then you have to again apply those changes. So what it will do, it will restart your server once those processes will be installed. Okay, and you it will take some time uh, to install, to restart your server. So it will take like 15-20 minutes depending upon the speed of your system. Okay,
Okay.
but you are, when you're going to install it in your like let's say clients or the users, so those these changes won't be applicable there. You just have to give them the ID and the password which you are going to set it for them, and they can directly able to connect. Okay, so this is like a one-time task.
This goes on your server, I mean
Yeah,
your
on
system.
my server. So
Okay.
right now your server is on your system, so this will go on your system. Like for me, it is on the Windows server. If I can show you, so I'm using right now Windows Server 2016, so it will be installed on that server.
Okay.
Okay, and what it does, once you install it, it will create a certificate license. Through that, you can connect to the back end of your database.
Okay. This is the back end of the. Okay.
Tableau server. Yeah. Okay. So first step is installing your tab uh, tab command utility, and second thing is your SSL um, packages. Okay,
Okay.
to allow the direct connection. So once these two are done, you will be able to go ahead and create a user ID and the password for your post GRE. So how it is done is, this is the page which talks about how to enable your post GRE. So what you have to do is you have to give this command line: TSM data access, repository access, and enable the repository username and the password. So for example,
Okay.
if you want to give a username as a read only, so this will be a username and the password. But if your password contains any special characters, okay, then you have to give that password in the double quotes.
Double code. Okay.
Okay, so remember that. And if it is straightforward password, then no need to give it in a double quotes. It can work directly.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the there's a lot of tab commands utility, so that will be covered later. But this is something which will be needed to enable your post GRE, to create your
Okay.
login ID and the password. So once that is done, what you can do, you can directly go to the Tableau desktop, and I've created one user ID and the password. So here you can see the post GRE SQL. If it is not readily available here, you can in the to a server section, click on more, and then just search for it.
Okay.
Okay, so if you get that post GRE SQL, it will ask you for the server name, port, database, etc., etc. User ID and the password will be the same user ID and the password which you have set it up while configuring your TSM command line. So this is the same user ID and the password which you will give there. But
Okay.
what will be the server name? So the server name usually will be, if you go on the TSM window, you will see your name here. So right now it is a local host. Okay, so node name will be given as a server name.
Okay.
Okay, so I have given local host, and remember the port on which the post GRE SQL work is 8060.
Okay.
Okay, and it is when you install your Tableau server, the port by default is 8850, but for
Yes.
this one the port will be 8060. And by
Okay.
default the database name will be work group, although you have already given that in the, where is it? So by default the database name which is going to be there in your post GRE SQL will be the work group.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to know that. And then authentication type will be username and the password, and whatever the username or the password you have set it up, you have to give it here, and you have to click on require SSL,
Right. Okay.
right? And once you sign in, it will directly take you through the post GRE SQL, the back end of the Tableau server database.
Okay.
Okay, so then again, you can either connect with this Tableau server, Tableau desktop, or do you know about SQL Management Studio?
No.
No. Okay, so there's a utility with the Microsoft to connect through the SQL servers. That is called the Management Studio. So same like a utility where you can like query the database. There's again a utility for the post GREs also. They are different, a bunch of them actually. So you can just Google it and download it according to your preference. Okay.
Okay.
But for Tableau desktop, I know you're not going to do that because you're not the developer, but it is just good to know. Okay, so as a Tableau developer, he or she will be going to directly connect it with the Tableau desktop. So that is like you don't have to worry about it.
I will
Okay.
download it to see what it is for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Please do. Please do. Okay. So now, if once you're connected with the database called work group, you will see there are different tables created here. There are very 330 different tables, and from here it will be very hard for you to know what is inside what table, what different columns are there. For example, let's say I talk about workbooks. So in workbook, I can see ID, name, repository, description, size, etc. Blah blah blah. So it will be difficult to always go ahead and drag and drop it and then use it, right? So we do have a metadata for this one. Okay, and this is the workgroup database.
Okay.
Okay, here you will see all the table names which is present um, inside the work groups, and these tables are available to the read-only users. You can't change it.
Okay.
Okay, you can only query it and see what is inside that those SQL server, but you will not be able to change it or update it through here. You have to go to the web utility of the Tableau server and then change it there. Then the changes will be applicable uh, behind the SQL.
Okay.
Okay, so the most important ones are like users or groups or say projects or the workbooks. So you see, like for example, if I go to groups, okay, I can see the different columns which are available in the groups. Okay, just to test that, let's see groups. And there are two groups, underscore and the groups. So this is workbook.groups, and this is sorry, underscore groups, and this is workbook.groups. One second. So this is I never used, and I'm also not sure um, what is underscore means, and maybe that will be like a temp one. So you see there are a lot of different columns available here in the groups, but a very few of them will be available on the underscore groups.
Okay.
Okay, so I think underscore groups will be for the temp users, so don't use any of the underscore ones. Okay, the
Okay.
permanent tables will be without the underscore.
Okay.
Groups. Okay, so just to compare between the repository and the uh, database which we have connected, I can see ID, name, created at, and the last column is grant license, right? And if I go to the repository and I can see ID, name. Can you hold on? I'm just
Sure.
getting a call. One second. Hey, sorry, Ravi. Okay, so
Sorry.
you will able to see that all the columns which are there in the repository will be available in your um, where the desktop here. Okay, so from here, if you say update now, you will be able to see like we can compare it with our Tableau server also. And let's go to group, and you see there are three groups which are created. And right now all users, IT and math, everything is there,
Right.
right? And you will see the minimum site roles, sync. And I told you I created workbook by adding all those columns, all those tables here, and connecting it with some making joins to them. So
Yeah.
let me take an example of that. It will give you more clarity.
You said you did it through PostgreSQL, right?
Yeah, the same thing. So
Okay.
I just wanted to tell you that how we can connect to the PostgreSQL, and then again how we can use it. So let's open this one. And let's go to the data source. Mm, Tableau product.
You do save all the usernames and passwords in some folder for other admins to access it, right?
So it depends upon utility to utility. Here we use LastPass.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, it is shareable. I think I have to connect to the VPN for that. 1 second. Because it is my company's profile and I directly can't connect to the post GRE SQL. So I have to
Oh,
connect to the VPN. And this is the thing which you have to do. If you are giving the access to the end users and they want to connect to the post GRE, then you have to configure some VPN around it, and then they can access it. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So let's take an example.
Usually, who would want to connect to
The
PostgreSQL?
developers.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see, if you see in the repository which I just showed you, we can connect with the different tables. The tables can be sites, groups, group users, site roles, system users. So names say it all. Like site will be having the site data. The
Right.
groups will be having the groups data. The group users will be having the list of groups and the users inside them. Users
Okay.
are just the users, and site rules will be like the minimum site rules which particular users have. System users are the system users which is already predefined. So the names can say it all, and the relation between all those tables can be seen in the site, which is a site ID will be the ID, and in the groups there is again a column called site ID. So how to know that if you're doing some joins in those tables, what will be our primary key to connect those? Okay. So primary keys are the keys which are unique between the tables. Okay, so that can't be duplicated.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that is called the primary key. So if we are doing some joins, so you have to define that on which basis you are joining those two tables,
Right. Yeah.
right? So if you go back to the repository and you see I'm in the groups right now, and you can see the foreign key or the primary key relation from the domain ID on this table to ID on the table. So domain ID will be um, this is the domain ID for this table and ID on the domains table,
Right.
or foreign key relation from the site ID to the table is ID on the sites. That's
Okay.
how I know the site, and that will be the primary key, and that's how I have connected from site to the groups.
Okay.
Okay, so for that you means I don't know whether you will be going to develop it or not, but it's just good to know the SQL part of it, that how what is the relation, how we are going to use it,
Okay.
and then how to create the visualization on top of it. Okay, so this is a very big repository, but the main thing which we need to know about these ones are what tables you will be needing, and what are the important tables. Although all the tables are the important ones, uh, but how can I tell you? Let's talk about the sites, for example. Okay, so if I go to sites, okay, I can see the ID, the name of the site, etc., etc. But I can't see everything in the side column. Although it has a lot of fields there, right? But I don't want all of the fields because those are not useful for me. I just want a certain fields which I can connect to the groups or to get the group names. And in the group, we can't find users. So we have to connect the group with the users. And
Right.
users, you can only see the ID, right? Then for the user name, you have to again go back and connect to the system users.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so that's how it is. Like all the endpoints will be having such some piece of information, but to connect those pieces, you have to connect with those tables with the foreign key or the primary key to get the entire data.
Got it.
Okay, so this is very very important, and not everyone don't know about this one. Okay, so very few people who is actually a developer, and that's why I purposely keep this in my sessions, so that the every Tableau server admin, the Tableau server admins should know that what is the backend database and how we can go ahead and query it. Or if someone wants to have those utilities, you can actually go ahead and present this to them so that they can be like surprised that we can do this too. And you can go ahead and create a login ID and password for them and to get them connected.
Okay.
Okay, so these are very like small pieces of information should be there with you uh, to like showcase your mm, ability.
Okay.
Okay, so I know it's a very small piece of information, but an important one.
Yeah. It looks important. What happens in the background, you just show it to them in
Yeah,
a workbook form. I mean, in a sheet form, I
yeah,
suppose.
yeah. So once you have this, okay, let's create something. Let's create site. Okay, Oh, there we are. I thought we had it went away. Group. So you see, automatically it will take ID and the site ID. You don't have to provide it. I haven't provided it, right? But it configured that which particular column should have and what is the relation between them.
Right.
Okay. Users. Okay, and let's go back here. And you see there are a lot of different measures and the dimensions available now. But you don't have to like import everything. You can actually go ahead and do the extract of your data and what do you say, filter them out if you don't need so much information. Okay, for now, let's keep them because I am like a little familiar with all those columns, so it will be easy for me. But uh, later on, please go ahead and remove them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the site section and say site ID and site name. Okay, and then go to groups and say group ID and group names, and then go back to users and say user ID. No, this is not the user ID, sorry. I'm grabbing users. So user will be not having the name. The names are there in the system user. Go back here and say system user. Last password, so update that. System user. Email. The email that we haven't provided it. Let's not take email. Let's take friendly name. Okay, now we have some data, like we have all those ID, the site IDs, the group IDs, and by default it will give you the IDs. Okay, so if you see the ID given to default is 1. Okay, and the ID which is given to the group name is 2 for the all users, right? And then again, the ID given to the different site, which is a math site, is 2. Sorry, 3. Okay, so ideally, it by randomly it will give you those IDs, those numbers. It is not like it is going to give you like in a sequence form. So it is like a predefined thing in the Tableau server. Okay, so don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it is random to it. And now what you can do, you can publish like you normally publish your database data source, the workbooks in your
Okay.
system. Okay, and you can play with it. So you
Oh,
see, it is again asking for your ID and the password, right? So it should not be the case. I think we have published it uh, without looking at it. Let me again publish the workbook data source. That is not be prompt user, it should be embedded password, and then override it. And Now, if you go, it will not ask you for password. Got it? So this is like a very deep repository, and you have to spend some time with it to know like whatever the interface which you're seeing in the front can be accessed from the back end too. And you can provide those in. Sometimes what happens is like there are like thousand of users, okay, and there is no option to export those data, right? If you see here in the Tableau server, for example, for the users, you can't export it or copy these data directly, right?
Right.
Like it will be very a very difficult to, if someone asks you for some reports. So by for the Tableau server or the admin, it is the PostGRE SQLs are very important, and that's why you have to know that how this particular thing works, and you should be ready with some of those dashboards, which can be useful for you. Okay, uh,
Okay.
so if someone asks you for the reports that I want a list of users who haven't logged in from past 6 months, so it will be very difficult to export those data from here. So for that, you have to go back to the back end of those data source, and then you have to export those data. Okay. And how we can do it is like we can create a Tableau report. If you're you can also query the PostGRE SQL, right? But it will be time taking, and you have to know joins for that. You have to like very handful experience in SQL part. So if you can't do that, remember how, like, learn how to create those reports in the Tableau itself. And from here, let's say I want the data for all the users in the groups. Just an query. Click on it, say download, and say cross tab. And what it will ask you to select a format. So CSV or Excel. Say Excel, download it, and you will see all these data will be exported in the
Oh,
same format.
okay.
Okay, so we just understand how these database works, and how these PostgreSQL SQL works, and spend time with it. Create different reports, create different Tableau workbooks, so that it will you can be able to give the data if someone asks for very easily, and you should know that which data lies on which table. For example, the
Yeah.
last login ones. So last login of the users can be found in the user section. So you can have this one handy, uh, the repository part, and you can actually directly search it. It will be very easy to last login, for example, last underscore login. Oh, S is missing. Say login. Okay, so you will be able to search from the keywords.
Okay.
Okay, what is there and where it lies. So say fail logging attempts. So you can also get those data too. Those data will be available in which table? So it will be available in ID local identity stores table.
Okay.
Okay. So you can also find the history of the records, like let's say first password update, who has done it. So you can take those history from here. So everything will be captured. Nothing. When you start clicking on the Tableau server, every record will be having a data. Okay, and that will be recorded there.
Okay.
Okay.
Does it record passwords too?
It does.
That
But
when you create a
but
user, right?
yeah.
When you create a user and it is your job to put a password to them and give it.
Yeah. So like when you create a user in the starting, let's say there's a new user and you have to provide the password because you are going to be the admin. So you have to provide a temporary password to them. Okay.
Okay,
So the best practice is to share it with some encrypted form. Your company will be telling you that which process they follow, and it, they might be following some of the like processes. Okay. In my company, we are using this LastPass. Okay,
okay,
LastPass is a utility where we can go ahead and save your password and recall it whenever you want.
okay.
Okay, so it won't be visible to everyone like just I did, right? I in front of you, I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, but I want to copy the password without showing you. I can copy it
Okay. It saves it and you just copy it and it's done.
and you can paste it wherever you want.
And this will be stored somewhere else, those passwords.
These passwords are saved in LastPass utility.
Okay. That is
You can
external
also
app, I suppose.
download it. Yeah, it is not an external app. Um, so like how you have Notepad, how you have, so it's a web-based app.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
these will be saving your passwords in an encrypted form. And
That's
to answer your question, that do you have to provide a password to the new login users? So what you can do is, if anyone is not following up um, any what they say guidelines or any particular way of sharing the password. So what you can do, you can Google some random passwords. So there are utilities available which provides you a random password with every click.
okay.
So it's called random password generator. Okay. So set your password type, like how much long it should be. Let's say 9 characters. Okay. And what do you want to involve in those? Let's say I want special characters. And if I say generate password, it will give you a random generated password for you.
Okay. This I can just copy for them and give it off.
Give it to them. Yep. And if you want to keep it generic, just use your his last name and any followed by numeric keys.
Okay.
Okay. So that will be provided by your organization, those guidelines.
And they don't get to change the passwords, is it? Whatever they get is what it is.
They will. So let's say you have an account created for me. Okay, let me.
No, I'm just inquisitive, so I'm asking that. I don't need that
No,
information, but it may be
I
I
know
need it.
that
I don't
you don't need it, but yeah, it's good to know.
know.
Say Ravi. Say password for Ravi. Okay, so this is you, right? Like you have been a user of this particular site. So if you click on your um, name here, and if you say account settings, you can able to go back and change your password.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. That's good.
so those will be it is just like um any account which you have on Facebook or Gmail maybe. So
Yeah.
you can do everything you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is like these are also the settings. Like someone can ask you that how I am going to change my password. So that's the right question you're asking. It is not not like that. It's a silly question. That every question is important. So you can go ahead and say or suggest them that go to your account settings and change the password from there.
Got it. Okay. And this thing is not saved in a Postgres SQL.
It is in an
eh,
encrypted form.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go to the utility, one
If the guy
second.
loses the password, the user loses the
Yeah.
password.
So if a
Okay.
user loses the password, the site administrator or the server administrator can directly go ahead and force them to change the password or change the password for them. For example, you're Ravi, right? And I'm logged in as a server administrator. If I go there and I want to force a password update, I can go ahead and update your password directly.
Upgrade
Okay.
password. Okay.
Now this is for giving him information. One second. Unlock account access. Uh, let's say.
What does that unlock
Uh,
account?
so if you have logged their account, Ravi, one second now.
Sure.
Ravi. And now it is asking me to reset my password. So this is for resetting your password, not for changing it.
Okay.
So what you can do, like if someone forgets their password, so you have to delete them and then create again a new user for them with the same role
And probably with the same password before, maybe.
and probably with any default password. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you say that force, like it is a good practice to say force password update for the first login. Okay, so let's say you are the new user for me, and I have created one password for you and shared it with you. So it is recommended that for the first login, you should go ahead and change your password. Okay, and you can actually force them to do that. You can click here, force password update, and whenever he or she will log in, now they will directly redirect them to the change password window rather than redirecting it to the Tableau server. And
Okay.
once they change the password, then only they can proceed with their Tableau server.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. You were saying something, right, about the unlock account access?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually go ahead and restrict them. Okay, like unlicense them, or with some reason they have lost their what do you say, access, for example. So let's do this.
Accounts.
So if it is restricted or blocked by uh, what do you say, any VPN, or they are blacklisted, so you can actually go ahead and unlock their account.
Oh, if they are blocked, then I do the unlock ones.
Yep.
Okay. So this one doesn't harm them, actually helps
No.
them.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So let's license. One or more of your license will be expired. So see, it is also saying that your license is going to expire on 5th of November. Now you will be able to log in with the new password. Got it? Any questions here?
How did that come, Siddharth?
Which
They
one?
giving you they give the time of 5 days or 1 week when you logged in just
Uh,
now.
when I logged in. So like my Tableau server is a trial version, right? Like I installed it just for this training,
Okay, okay, okay.
correct?
For that, okay, got it.
Yeah. So this is that Tableau server.
I thought you
The
clicked in
my
some actions for that to appear.
no, nothing. By default, it is giving it to me.
Okay.
Okay, what else I wanted to talk about here? I talked about the SSL, the security, the TSM. Okay, so there will be a major part with the TSM commands. Okay, so that will also going to be a very good session. So we will attempt that too. We can go ahead and try something new with the TSM commands. And with this utility also, you can actually go ahead and practice it a lot. Okay. So you have 2 days of the time. So please go back and just spend a lot of time there so that you need not to go ahead and do deal with each and every columns or each and every tables, but at least go ahead and create some of the dashboards and see. This can help you in two ways. One is like knowing the Tableau desktop, okay, preparing
Right.
visualization on top of it, and also learning some sequels like joining those tables and getting those data out of them. So this will help you a lot to practice that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so please, I will recommend you at least to give 2 hours a day, like today 2 hours, or maybe in Saturday or Sunday 2 hours, uh, just to sit and create this one. And if you face any issues, okay, if you face any issues in installing this TSM, please let me know. I will help you out if you want.
Okay.
Okay, we can connect there in a ad hoc basis. And if you face any issues, do let me know.
Okay. Okay,
I
Siddharth.
don't want you to waste your time and come back on Monday to say that I was not able to connect to this TSM.
Now I will do my best to. I will do it somehow. Uh,
Yeah, I'm
uh,
just telling you. Okay, if you got any roadblocks, do let me know. I can help. I can connect
and
for 15 minutes, and then we can go ahead and resolve that issue.
I can find my server version drivers on this tableau.github.io, right?
You don't need any drivers as such, because it will only already been installed. But yes, if it says that you need a particular driver, then you can go ahead and install it from there, the GitHub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
In the beginning, you downloaded something for for tab admin and
this one.
SSL. Yeah,
Yeah.
these two.
So let me ping you these so that it will be handy for you. Who's pinging me? Hmm. So depending upon the version,
Yeah,
you have to
yeah,
download it.
yeah.
Okay. And this is SSL, and this is how to connect to the repository, and this is the data dictionary.
And I
I
will
hope you got
find.
it.
Yeah, I'm receiving these things.
Are you saying something?
The code inside, I'm gonna copy it. Might be useful for me later.
Which codes? The TSM
Uh,
codes you're talking about?
yeah,
Yeah,
this ones.
please
Yeah,
do that.
these ones I will.
This will help you a lot. So whatever there in the brackets, you have to provide it. So this username you can't change because it is only like it's a predefined username. The password you can manage. The password will be the password which you set.
Okay.
Okay, but the username won't change. Let me provide you. So I think you have the recordings, but let me provide you the screenshot of this one, the data source. Can you click this picture? Maybe with your phone.
Let me do a print screen. Can you remove the sign in so that?
Remove the sign in.
Yeah.
Where?
No, just close this.
I want you to click this picture
Oh,
to
this I did.
know that. Okay. This you did?
Yeah, I did. I
Yeah.
did.
Keep this handy because the database name will be workgroup, the username will be read only, and the server name. Can you show me your server name? What is your
I
server name?
think Ravi K, I suppose. Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, so that will be your server name.
Oh, no. My server name is also localhost.
Localhost only. Yeah.
I'm looking at TSM, this thing.
Window, right. So that will be your server name.
Okay, this is also localhost.
Okay, Ravi, we are going to stop here. I think we are halfway through our course. It will again take another 2 weeks to complete this course. So the next 2 weeks will be like very, what do you say? You have to know all this and practice all these to get ahead with the course. Okay, so please do go back and practice it and come back with the questions.
Okay, Siddharth. All right.
Okay, so because we
Okay.
are going to jump on the TSM command line, we have to jump on reconfiguration part. A lot needed to be done now.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so these were just the easy parts of the Tableau server training. So now the hard part will come up.
Just in the morning, I was thinking, oh, I'm almost done with the course.
No, so this was just the trailer. This was just to get you know and familiar with the Tableau server. So now the maintenance part, the updation part of the Tableau server, and tab command utility and everything will come up.
Okay.
Okay, so please, you have these 2 days. We are not going to connect anyhow tonight, so go ahead and use this one. Okay.
Okay, Siddharth. All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Have a
Okay,
good day.
Ravi.
Have a good
Yeah, you
weekend
too.
too.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Okay, you too. Have a good one. Bye bye.